If you're a gun owner in Jasper or Newton County, you must watch this video before the August 2nd Republican Party primary. Hi guys, Aaron Dorr here with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. With the election day coming fast, we're being asked by gun owners in these two counties, who is the pro-gun candidate for Senate District number 32? Again, it's these two counties right up here in southwest Missouri, right up against the border here. Two counties, but there's a lot riding on the line here. As you guys all know, our gun rights are under attack more now than any time in modern history, at the federal level especially. But even here in Missouri, at Jeff City, we have a growing number of rhino Republicans who not only won't fight for gun rights, they'll actively work to undermine the Second Amendment. And so the question we're getting from you guys is, between Jill Carter and Bill White, number one, who's pro-gun? But number two, who's going to fight for gun rights? Who's going to lead the charge to stop gun control and go on offense when it comes to our gun rights in Jefferson City? This video is going to answer those questions. And before I do that, if you're a gun owner in this area, we also have videos done on the entire congressional race in southwest Missouri, CD7. Find our YouTube channel or Facebook page or links beneath this video for more information about that race. So again, Jill Carter versus incumbent state senator Bill White. Who is the pro-gun champion? Here's what we know about Jill Carter. Jill Carter has signed the Missouri Firearms Coalition candidate survey 100% pro-gun. What that means for us is that Jill Carter has gone in writing, on the record, and put her views on the Second Amendment on paper. And that's important to us as a gun rights organization. We're trying to find champions for the Second Amendment. Everyone says they're pro-gun at election time. Everyone raises their hand. What we want to know is, in writing, how will you vote on the top 10 issues of the day right now here in Missouri? And we gave that survey to Jill Carter, and she surveyed 100%. And you can see her survey beneath this video in the comment section down below. What that means is that, in writing, Jill Carter has said she'll vote no to any form of red flag gun seizures. You guys probably know, in Washington, D.C., Joe Biden just passed a monster federal gun control bill just last month. The first time in decades we've seen gun control pass in Washington, D.C. And the foundation or the chassis of that bill is almost $1 billion in funding for states that pass red flag laws. They're going to try to straight up bribe Republican states into passing red flag gun seizures. So, well, in some ways, it's easy to be opposed to red flag laws. If you're a rhino now, these days in Jeff City, you want that free money, right? That free cash from Uncle Joe Biden. It's going to be a real temptation. So we want to see candidates who say in writing, I will vote hell no on any form of red flag gun seizure laws. Jill Carter has done that. Just as important, Missouri's Second Amendment Preservation Act. We call it SAPA for short. You guys all know SAPA is the hottest thing in gun politics here in Missouri right now, because it's keeping federal gun control laws from being implemented by Missouri cops, our troopers, our deputies, our city cops, and it tells the federal government we're going to enforce our own gun laws here. It is the nation's leading SAPA law, and a growing number of rhinos in Jeff City tried and will try again to repeal portions of our SAPA law. Jill Carter has said in writing that she will back SAPA law all the way. There's no version of her where she's going to vote to repeal some or all of this bill. She'll also vote to protect our AR-15s and 30-round magazines. She'll also vote to expand Stand Your Ground law. You guys know Missouri has a Stand Your Ground law. What we don't have, though, we haven't fixed our self-defense laws where the burden of proof lies with the government. What does that mean? Well, if you use your firearm in a self-defense situation right now, it is up to you. The burden lies with you, or it would lie with me, to prove my innocence, to prove your innocence in court. That's backwards. This is America. We believe in the idea that we're innocent until the government proves us guilty. Dozens of states around Missouri have already changed their self-defense laws and expanded Stand Your Ground law to say that you are presumed innocent. The state needs to prove you're guilty. That's one of our main pushes right now in Jeff City, and Jill Carter is 100% in support of expanding Stand Your Ground law. A lot of you know Jill Carter to be a fighter in other areas, active in the Capitol on the pro-life issue, on all kinds of different issues. But when it comes to guns, based on her survey and all of her public statements, Jill Carter is a fighter who will fight to advance the Second Amendment. And again, that's the question you're asking us. Everyone says they're pro-gun. Who's going to fight to expand it and to defend it? That's Jill Carter. What about Bill White? Bill White, been around for a long time, 8 years in the House, 4 years in the Senate. In all of his 12 years in Jefferson City, we have not known Mr. White to ever, in either chamber, have led anything when it comes to the fight to defend the Second Amendment. If you go to Bill White's website right now, he doesn't even mention the phrase Second Amendment. And we're not looking for throwaway lines, but we want to see candidates who know how important it is to fight to defend our Second Amendment freedoms, now more than ever. Bill White's not doing that. We sent Bill White our candidate survey, the same one Jill Carter signed 100%. We asked Bill White the same questions. Where do you stand on these top 10 issues? Bill White is refusing to fill out his Missouri Firearms Coalition candidate survey. And guys, again, in our experience, when a candidate won't survey, when they refuse to answer a simple 10-question survey, that tells us that that candidate, if elected, is probably already making plans mentally to side with the rhinos to vote against your Second Amendment freedoms. Is that happening when it comes to Bill White? We can't say it for sure, but his not surveying is a very big red flag, especially when combined with years of doing next to nothing to fight for gun rights in Jefferson City. So not having a survey means we don't know if Bill White would vote for red flag laws or not. As I said, there is hundreds of millions of dollars of bribe money now being offered to red states like Missouri across the country. Is Bill White going to say no to hundreds of millions of dollars to pass red flag laws in Missouri? We'd like to know, but he won't say. Bill White's Republican Party establishment friends in Jeff City worked very aggressively for a couple of weeks this year to repeal the Second Amendment Preservation Act. It was a real problem. We shut that attempt down in Jeff City, but it's not over. Will Bill White vote to defend or to weaken the Second Amendment Preservation Act? He will not answer that question. Not to us on our survey, not at forums, not online, nowhere. Very dangerous stuff. How about AR-15s or expanding stand your ground law? Every question we ask Bill White, he won't answer it. So if you're a gun owner in this district, again, we're talking about Jasper and Newton County, SD 32. You got two candidates here. You've got one candidate who will not tell you where he stands, who has had 12 years to fight for freedom in Jeff City, has never done so. Never, ever lifted a finger to actually fight to protect gun rights. And now, when our gun rights are under attack more than ever, will not tell you where he stands on the hottest issues in Missouri gun politics. Second Amendment Preservation Act and red flag gun seizures. So if you see Bill White, you should ask this guy, why won't you survey? I know, and guys, here's what he's going to say. He's going to say, oh, don't worry. I'm pro-gun. I'm pro-gun. It's okay. And when he says that, your response needs to be, Bill, it's a primary in Missouri. Everyone's pro-gun. Why won't you survey? Why won't you go on the record and put your views on my gun rights in writing? That's the question to ask Bill White. And ask him, in all of your years in Jeff City, when have you filed a gun bill? When have you sponsored a gun bill and led the fight for my freedom as a gun owner? Those are questions to ask Bill White. If you see Jill Carter, be sure and thank Jill Carter for having the courage to survey 100% and to put her views in writing and to promise not just to be a pro-gun vote, but to be a fighter for the Second Amendment in Jefferson City. Guys, that's our report on this race. Take a moment after you've watched it and share it. Share it online. You can forward it by email. Get the word out. Let people see in Southwest Missouri in this race who is a pro-gun champion and who is an absolute part of the establishment rhino class in Jeff City who has done nothing to defend our gun rights for all the years he's had in Jeff City. And guys, finally, join our fight today at www.joinmofc.com.